And welcome again to another high vibe channeling session, the first one of April, April 2nd, 2026. And tonight we have the distinct pleasure of me, and that is the Tall Whites, which ask to come in, and they ask everyone to envision the future that they wish to have, and then to ask questions about how to determine or how to manifest that. And then after that, we'll have a short break, and then the inner earth beings would also like to come in and have something to say this evening. So it won't take but a couple of seconds or so to bring them in, and let's see what happens. And thank you all for coming, and thank you for those of you who are viewing. And and we appreciate those of you who are new to our energy. Your curiosity is welcome and beneficial. For the more humans which interact with us will help offset any of the miscommunication, the untruths, the half-truths, which shall circulate about us once we became or become more well known amongst your planet mates. And we have come forth because it is, as the channel stated, necessary. We are endeavoring to frame how we are perceived by your kind, by those of you who wish to find out more of us, and with no regard for those who do not believe in us, for that is not necessary for us. All of your planet will learn of us in due time, the coming decades for the whole planet. It may take that long because there are always pockets of humans who refuse to believe, which is fine. It is acceptable because that is the reality which you have chosen. You have all come for this wonderful transformation. You have helped your race and the planet grow up in ways, especially vibrational ways. And before we get to our question, we wish to bring something to your attention. Your manifestation, your ability to bring forth your synchronicities and your desires. Or if you are fearful, your consequences of those beliefs, those thoughts, that energy. For everything has speeded up. If you could watch the earth as you would from a car window, you may notice it is going faster in the vibrational world in which we inhabit and you inhabit unknowingly or without noticing, we will say. That is the premise of asking each of you to envision the world which you wish to live in, your future world. And we ask you to picture that in your minds now. For if you feel good about that, you help bring it forth, literally. It is like one of your fishing lines. You are casting a hook into that reality and reeling it in to you. That is important, for that is how you will advance. You will evolve. And that is efficient, which is why we are intervening to come to you, to give you the opportunity to manifest that reality for all of your kind faster and more efficiently. And while we do disdain the words of your language, simply because they are not efficient, but they are necessary in this way. For until you have developed or awakened the abilities to communicate with merely a thought amongst many different races, this shall be the way of reaching you. And also the written word, which is another form of your language. You know that neither of those are utilized by those beings who live upon your planet, which are not humans, or those who will be coming to reside amongst you after your open contact scenario. Indeed, if not for that ability of humans to vibrate high enough to detect other energies, not only the stronger energies, but more diverse energies. But your reality, as you have noticed, is changing. It is coming to a head, and that will not change for many of your months. But within the next 18 months or so, it will resolve itself. And although all of the humans will evolve, not all will do so in a most timely, efficient manner, which is why there are so many of your planets in activation, we will say. For those who do not make the vibratory cutoff will still have an earth to play on until they learn the lessons they came to learn. And then they will take their place amongst those humans who have interactions freely and willingly with non-human forms of your galactic family. And while we shall not be one of those at the onset, we are deeply involved in ensuring that it happens and making accommodations for all of those energies and those beings and their related energies. It is a complex task for which we excel. We are masters of the energetic realms, for our foresight and our abilities, our innate strengths are to ensure that all of your reality and all in it flow seamlessly, and any situations or encounters or events which do not are directly participated are utilized by your higher self for its own purposes or for your own purposes, to wake you up or to give you hints of other realities, other realms in which you exist, or to allow other beings to observe you during those points of time, space, coordinate, as you may know of them. And again, we thank you for being open of mind and for letting your attention rest upon us. That energy helps us not only to gauge your readiness, but it allows us, for those of you who have given us permission, to tap into your minds, to better learn about your forms and about your habits and about your mental processes and memories. And while those are available to us, as they are to all beings outside of your quaint timelines, we are an honorable sort, and we have no need to access those without your express permission in the form which you have taken. We have permission to do so from your quote unquote higher selves, your soul portions. But it is important for us to build that trust with the beings which we will be continuing our earth endeavors alongside. For after the Great Reset, as it is known, we shall indeed be working alongside you. That does not give us joy, but we do what is necessary. Our joy and our creativity is focused amongst our kind, and others may participate in that those details. But rest assured, you will understand that we are here for you, as we are for all consciousness on, in, and around and coming to your planet Earth. For although we do not have a home, this is our home for this experiment, and it will continue and has continued. And we exist in many realms and many dimensions, for that is why we are created. And we will proceed to those of you who have that future you wish to reside in, which makes you happy, and think of specific events and any questions which you may have regarding them. That is just a guideline, but it is important enough for us to mention it, to relay to you how important your beliefs are, the energy you put behind them, your emotional attachments to them. For you do have that ability. The entire planet has that ability. For the higher your vibrational frequency range, according to this one, And we agree it is the terminology which leaves a sour taste in our mouth that enables you to have that quickening where things manifest faster for you. And we shall pause so you may speak, and we will respond in kind.
Christiana?
Thank you. Greetings to you. And I would like to thank you for your sense of duty in doing something that is not your highest joy. Thank you for that. um,
You are welcome. That is a human nicety which we conform with to please your kind, although it is far from necessary.
you mentioned co-creation with non-human beings. And since I am not aware of what I do in dream state, would you like to comment on how I am getting along with my party organizing plans with the other beings?
We do not wish to disappoint, but that is not relevant for this particular discussion. For indeed that will happen in due time, and you need not concern yourself with those future events, for you will indeed have them. You have locked in your own personal contacts with at least two and possibly more beings, but those will be more of the telepathy aspects. And as you get closer after open contact to the spirit realm vibration, you will be experiencing more of your dream states in your conscious awaking moments. And there you will find that you have those answers that you desire. And although we did not directly address your question, we understand by your energy that it was acceptable to you.
Your answer made me very happy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this co-creation and this interaction. We really appreciate you reaching out to us and teaching us and interacting with us. It is much appreciated and very helpful. Um, I do have a vision for the future. Um, I envision that we will have a beautiful future, that we value Mother Earth, the nature, her ecology, that humanity lives in peace with each other and with um, extraterrestrials, as some people commonly call them, but other beings, both physical and non physical. It is my deepest desire that we have friendships, relationships with them, that we have much to learn and co create. Um, my vision is that there is abundance for all, that no one experiences lack. I also believe we will have free energy and have eliminated pollution. Um, those are just a few of the things that I see in our future.
You have done a great service to those who are with or attending this session, for you have laid out with emotion many avenues of advancement of your kind, to the point where they were all imagining them too. And the more detail that you can put forth to those, for instance, as you go through your imaginary future day, how you will be impacted, that will help bring forth that future, as those energies will be attracted to that vision which you have stored within you. And understand that it will not be exactly as you imagine ever, for your reality depends on the co-creation of a multitude of beings, even if it is all experienced by only you, for that is the nature of your reality. You never see, hear, or sense any other being other than your representation of their energies. That is not new to most of you in this group, but we do appreciate your coming forth with that. And we must say, not that we must say, but your string of niceties was excessive and appreciated. You are a kind human who looks forward to positive interactions with all forms of consciousness. That itself
Yes,
is a gift to all who encounter you. We are grateful and look forward to that becoming more widespread amongst your kind.
yes. Is it helpful to go into more detail of my vision for the future?
It will never hurt as long as it is the future you desire. You can imagine how it looks to trust and be of service to all consciousness on your planet, where there are no individuals who will consciously seek to harm or take advantage of others or any other life form. It is a reality of flow, of synchronicity, and that is what we endeavor to bring forth in all of its forms. And by imagining that, by seeing that in your mind repeatedly, if possible, it
Yes.
helps more than you know. And you all are under observation all of the time by many beings who are gauging not only your readiness, but how you may be involved in the open contact scenario and later than it or after it in your time. For indeed, many of you have accepted or chosen roles which you may find different, vastly different from the lives you have led up to now.
Well, thank you for expressing all that I had in my heart and that you expressed it so eloquently. um, what I hope for the future. And I am very hopeful for the future. I do believe this is not what we would term a pipe dream, that this will be our reality. I I feel that very strongly.
And so you shall have it.
Thank you. And anyone else have uh, a thought for a beautiful future that they
I
would like to share?
I have a question regarding the vision. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so well, I guess with my vision, I was thinking that you had meant more on a personal level. So that is how I was um, aiming my thoughts. And so my vision for the future, what I would really like is collaboration with others to create. And I've had a lot of collaboration and interaction online on the online community for quite some time now. So I'm really getting to a place where I'm craving the physical people in my physical vicinity, actually around me. But it's hard I'm not sure how to achieve finding these people that are in residence with me. I really feel like it would be in best alignment if they were of a similar mindset, similar frequency. I know, of course, I would love to collaborate with multidimensionals, and but I suspect that right now a lot of our mission here is to do things amongst other humans for several different reasons, of course. So I'm just wondering if you have any suggestions or advice regarding me finding these groups of like minds, like hearts to collaborate with, to create things that bring joy to the planet.
You interpreted the instructions correctly. It is more of a personal vision, but grander visions are acceptable, for they still carry energy which can imbue all of your planet. For each happy thought has an effect on the overall Earth collective vibration. And for you in particular, we urge you to switch to or from a hoping to a knowing. For that vacillation and not having faith in your future holds you back in ways. You do not need to have sensory confirmation that it occurs, although you desire that strongly. You wish to have those experiences and you wish to share them with others. That is one of your attributes of your personality, is sharing your thoughts, your beliefs. And that is why you are so inquisitive, because you desire those types of interactions. And as for attracting those of like minds, you merely need to be authentic and practice that knowing. For indeed, you will attract them as they are looking for you as well. But any of you humans who are not authentic is hiding parts of themselves from others. And how are they supposed to find you if you are not yourself to the best you can be? Putting on airs or pretending to put on a role or a guise of what you expect others expect of you, to fulfill the expectations of the roles that you play. But you will find that those individuals will be seeking you out and will connect with you. Have no doubts about that. Do not base any of your future expectations on your past. Any of you. That past doesn't exist. That is only a guidebook that you humans use to give you some context of where you believe you are now. And the now is all that you will ever get in this particular expression of consciousness you have chosen. You will expand that reach of knowing greatly. But for the Angie, do not fit any time frame into your expectations. This is not a destination where you will say, I need to be here by this particular day and time. The day and time will attract themselves to you based on your vibration, based on your knowing, based on your uncertainty being released. You have had experiences where you did have that knowing, when you knew you were with child, when you knew that there were more books coming. That is the knowing you need to tap into about connecting with those beings. And yes, you will have connections with beings, non-physical beings, guiding you in a more tangible way. But as far as a physical exchange, that remains to be seen. For as long as you have doubts in your heart, and we guide that advice for her personally, for you are a strong manifester, so those doubts will also manifest strongly. And once dispelled, your entire life will change for the better, for the synchronicity, for the flow.
Well,
We hope that
for
appeases you.
Oh, that was very helpful. Just for clarity's sake, though, I get the impression that you're picking up a vibe from me that maybe is something that I'm not even detecting in myself when it comes to authenticity. And I want to make sure that I am broadcasting the correct frequency to attract these collaborators. What would you suggest? Like, what are ways to um, ensure that we are broadcasting an authenticity? I feel like I'm being authentic, but I wouldn't put it past my subconscious to be fooling around in ways that I'm not aware of.
That message was a general reminder for the group and those who may encounter this particular recording afterwards. For you personally, when you no longer have doubts, you will know you have arrived.
Mhm. Okay, thank you very much for that. I appreciate your help.
And the new gentleman has come forth and remained silent. Did the human answer your question sufficiently so you have no more questions?
Um, Thank you for this co-creation. I have one more question um, about what I would like to hold specifically for my future, uh, as opposed to a general humanity and what I see in the world. Um, I would um, love to manifest a an income that supports me, that a uh, abundance for my family, enough that I can share with my adult children and the people that I see, uh, that are in need. I would like to have um, much abundance that I can share. Um, do you have any particular advice for me to bring that about?
You have already received advice on that. And if you envision that life multiple times each day and the joy which it brings, and if you have forgotten the guidance, you were informed that you are indeed a writer by
Mhm.
the being Chris. And for
Yes, I
your
remember that.
particular roles in open contact, you are more concerned with how others will receive and benefit from that event than you yourself. You are looking after the many,
Mhm.
and at some point you will understand that looking after yourself first is the best service that you could provide for the many.
Oh, okay.
Now, your writing can be part of that, but you must choose consistently and learn those boundaries which will enable you to have the time which you believe that you need in order to
Mhm.
work that out, to have that creative flow come up to you. And others have patterns of behavior that you will always respond to them when they ask, when it is convenient for them. You can teach them better by having your own boundaries and letting them know, I'm sorry, I am busy with me. They will figure
I
it out. They may flounder for a bit. They may react with some low vibrational thoughts. Let them. It is okay to tell them you are grown. Figure it out. Although we know you will not be as gruff as we are to you.
sometimes I feel taking time for myself is almost selfish. I know it's not. It's feeding me first. It's putting my own oxygen mask on, as they would say, before helping someone else to put their oxygen mask on. But
There
there
is,
still is a part of me that feels guilty, maybe.
You will find that once you do establish those boundaries and they are accepted by others who are close to you or interact with you frequently, that you will receive other impulses which will aid you in manifesting the future you desire. But those are waiting, those are latent, because you are not ready. You have not done the work to put yourself in the center of your life instead of the periphery of it.
Mhm. So your advice is for me to put myself at the center.
It is a choice.
Mhm.
Or you can continue as you have been, and another one of you will gladly reap those benefits. Imagine that person and bring that into your reality.
I think I understand what you're saying. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Um,
Oh, I have a follow-up question actually. I'm going through the stuff you had said to me just prior to Anita, and if I had heard correctly, you had said that I will be having collaborations with non-physical beings, but it's the physical beings that remains to be seen. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So, so you actually see the collaboration in the future as a almost like I've already established that manifesting it sometime in the future with these non-physicals.
You will have those connections. Their energy will be unmistakable, but it is up to you to utilize that information. And if you indeed doubt it, then you will find that they may be hesitant to come forth with you. But eventually you will succeed because your vibration, like all on your planet, will enable you to have those knowings, those connections more easily than you can imagine now, although that would help you as it would all of you.
I just I find it so interesting because you would think that I would have more of a confidence knowing that I'd be collaborating with other humans versus such a confidence of a knowing that I'd be collaborating with non-physicals. That's just very entertain. That's just amusing to me, and I mean I'm very excited to hear that. Am I going to be able to perceive? Is it going to be a like I'm going to be able to perceive these beings. I know I have guides and such, but I am not able to perceive them. So this is going to be different in that respect.
We believe we have already answered that question, and your excitement causes you to speak faster and to come forth with other questions. There is nothing wrong with that. It is merely up to you, for the choices are yours. The transcript will be available by this being. We urge you to believe what you read.
Are you able to give me any type of indication of what type of beings these are so that I can direct my focus towards that direction?
Yes, we are. It is not relevant for you at this time. You have not earned the right to know.
Hmm. What would what what how do I earn the right to know?
Do you have doubts?
I don't have doubts. I have excitement. I have curiosities, and because it's an unknown, I'm curious about it. It's not a doubt thing. I believe it's possible, certainly. I'm just trying to help the process along.
If you thought it is just a possibility, then that is not a knowing. That is the difference. You lie in between those two coordinates, we will say. When you get to the knowing, you will know.
So that's what it is required to have earned the right to know is the knowing.
We are not fond of repeating ourselves. You can read the results in your coming days.
Okay. Thank you so much for your help.
Christiana?
Thank you. Hello again. Um, I understand that the biggest way to manifest is envisioning and feeling. But I was telling Ray earlier that I felt like writing down what I envision. And a couple of years ago, we were advised to also write down what we envision and put it under our pillow where we sleep. And I wanted to ask you to maybe talk about these energies of written word and how they influence manifestation.
The practice of writing things down is an efficient tool for learning and opening up your minds and focusing that energy on the paper and imbuing that energy within it. So once you have that energy with you where it is stored, and you can revisit that. For you in particular, and if this resonates with others, please take it to heart, but be playful with your visions. You can wave the beings in. Now, it does not have to result in a physical, personal contact, but it will spur connections with other beings who are interested. Those in your silver ship which have been observing you and connecting with you in your dream states. And it will also raise your vibration. For when you do play, you think of nothing else. You have that solidity of focus on the joy at hand. That is a lightning rod for those who wish to connect with humans who are acceptable to them, of open heart and open mind, and a relevant vibratory frequency range which is acceptable for them to work with and to connect to. So if you have a game which you like to play, you can invite your galactic family to come and play with you, but do not offer them a cigarette.
Yeah, well, when I play, I do not smoke, right? So, uh, but yes, I do have a game that I absolutely love. I think it's the greatest game ever invented on Earth. And yes, I will be very happy to invite them. Thank you.
They will come. They will come. And perhaps you can feel them or see them out of the corner of your eyes.
Thank you. I will keep a side look out.
You can always ask your companions, your kitties, to look out for you and alert you. But during the game, when you get excited, you will not be excited by yourself.
It's so wonderful to share. Thank you.
And the gentleman who also smokes, he can be prompted to come forth, and we do so now.
He's trying to unmute.
He's done it.
That is to be expected.
Ah. Oh, you know me somehow. Um, do I have a question? Or an image, a vision? Yes, I do. Uh, and it's multi-layered, it's multi-location. Mm, it's developing all the time. Do you have any advice as to, do you have any advice, please?
We assume you mean for you.
Specifically, yes, please.
You are energy that those you interact with need. And we urge you to ask those individuals more questions as opposed to making statements to them when they match your eyes.
Mm.
You may ask them, what do you believe about extraterrestrials? Or do you have a plan for when we have visitations by various beings? You are creative enough to manifest that. And they will not look at you any stranger than they do now, but they will take that to heart, for you have a way of imbuing yourself into their memories. Your energy sticks with them and gives them hope in ways. They may not understand that. They may not understand the connection, but they will feel that. For your positive energy awakens something in them. Their inner child will enjoy playing with that energy, even if they never let it out. You may find writing down some possible questions. You can even bring it out in front of them and say, I'm choosing the question for you.
Yeah.
And yes, the train is a wonderful place to do that, or the bus. Or the stroll.
I hear you. Anything else? That's a good one. Anything else?
You have chosen to be a supportive role in the open contact scenario. You may be rewarded with an encounter, but it is not your desire to do so. There are some inner fears related to other contacts that you have had. We will not go into details on them, but you store them within you. It
Mm,
is why you choose, one of the reasons why you choose to be as jovial as you are, because you know that those are not going to affect you unless you choose to dwell on them and allow them to do so.
mm,
We appreciate you maintaining your high vibrational outlook, and we do urge you to increase your water intake, for the poisons which you put into your body can be readily removed in ways if you would drink 4 or more liters of your liquids each day. You asked for that information.
the information was helpful, insightful. I will follow it.
And yes, piss on that is appropriate for you.
You're all very funny.
We are learning.
Yeah. Let's go for a 3. Anything else that would offer me something to move me forward, or anything that pops in your mind?
That is enough for now. And we appreciate you taking our words to heart and acting upon them. You
Mhm.
have already envisioned how that may play out in your days.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for everything. Cool.
And this will conclude this session. And we appreciate you allowing us to come before you and this being for working with us and enabling himself to handle these energies and this communication. And it will not be the last time which we do so. There will be other questions which we will ask of you Some will be related to the book which is being focused upon and created. But that is not for public knowledge at this time, at least the details within it. And we bid you your good day, or good evening, or good morning. And we thank you.
How are you feeling, Ray?
I'm vibrating a lot.
You were shaking quite a bit at the end
That's a
before
lot of
you.
energy. They're very forceful.
Mhm. Were they attuning you or doing something with your body? Because you moved a lot more than you usually do when they were leaving. It looks like they were doing something before they were leaving.
That and that's the energy residuals dissipating.
Oh,
And it does that a lot with other beings. And it just depends. I mean, when I first connected with them, it took me almost 3 minutes before I got my physical movement back.
wow.
So
Wow.
it just depends on the being. Yeah,
Wow.
they like that though. They like coming through. They thanked me, which
Oh,
is, yeah, that's it. And if you were around whenever they first came in, human niceties were the last thing on their mind. They were about as brusque as you could be. It was
I,
all
I
business.
I remember
So,
that
yeah.
not at the very beginning, but a while ago, a couple months ago, they were rather abrupt.
But
And
tonight
they
they
have
really
learned.
made an effort.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, they were very nice.
Yes.
Tonight they made an effort, Christiana said.
Well, and not all of them are like that, but the ones that are going to be interacting with humans are kind of like in school. They're learning
Learning.
how to interact with humans. And, we think in terms of what we like and what we don't like and our preferences. For them, it's necessary, everything else.
Oh,
So if it's not necessary, it doesn't even occur to them. They're so focused on what is necessary. It's like, if they were taking a trip and it was 300 miles, they would just as soon pee while they were driving because it would not be necessary to stop because that would not be most efficient. And, we just don't think that way. You
Right.
know, we want to
Right.
stop and get out, stretch our legs, grab something to drink or whatever. No, they're focused. No, we're going here. That's what we're doing. We're going. And nothing else matters. It's as long as they can do that. And that's the way they approach, that's kind of the way they have to approach what they do in maintaining and managing all of these complex energies which come in. I mean, from the planets, from, the sun, the stars, who knows how many different beings. But, every time a being uses a portal to go in, they not only have to maintain the portal, but they have to make sure that the environment has all of the energetic requirements that they will need.
Wow.
I know it's so complex. I can't even wrap my mind around it because we don't even feel, I mean, we don't feel the gamma rays that come in. We don't feel the ultraviolet unless we get burned, but they're in tune with all of it and all of these other
Mm-hmm.
beings. And the other beings just get to show up and walk around and do whatever they do because of the stuff that they do. And that's my interpretation. So, that's what I have to go with. But thank you for asking.
And it sounds like they're developing a little more um, of an understanding of our emotions and our niceties and things that we value.
Yeah.
Uh,
And as soon as you
Part of the
started,
necessary.
as soon as you started, they were saying, thank you is sufficient. And you went on for like 4 or 5 sentences, and they're just sitting there waiting, tapping their feet in ways, you know. I thought
Probably
that was
going,
funny.
oh, these inefficient humans. Goodness,
But
how are we ever going to understand them? They are so
oh no,
inefficient.
they understand, but they want to frame what happens according to what they want to do. They want
Oh,
they're framing, I mean, talk about a spin, that politics does all the time. That's what they're doing. And
right.
it's not that they have anything to hide. It's just that humans are so prone to misinformation and misinterpreting things. I mean, even that's why they near hate our language because we have so many words that mean different things. And we have one word that, you know, we have multiple words for some things and words like love and kind and food that can mean hundreds of things. And they're like, it's just not efficient.
Food for thought.
Well, yeah, yeah. Nice pun.
Right.
But like the first time that they connected with me, and I know I've told this before, but they said this is not efficient. And then the next time they connected with me, they told me, we created a consciousness to interact with you so we did not have to densify ourselves. So they invented a baby monitor that we could talk to and they could talk to it and accomplish the same communication without hardly any energy on their expenditures on their part because they could tap into it anytime they want because they're outside of time.
They're efficient.
It vary. I mean, we have no idea how efficient that can be. Like, I used the example before, if they had a recipe to bake chocolate chip cookies, not only are they going to use exactly the ingredients and the temperature and everything, but they're not putting one chocolate chip extra if it's not needed. And they're not leaving one out. And they will be as evenly spaced as what it's required. I mean, if it's not required, then they don't mind. They just put them in there wherever it goes, goes. But if there are specifications, then they're going to meet them. It's wild.
How do they deal with other beings that, like the ones that are so jovial, that are just all over the place, or the hybrid children that are just so different from them?
They're unconcerned. I mean, they're no more concerned than somebody who you don't know what they feed their dog. Because as long as those beings can experience a seamless environment, they're really operating behind the scenes and
So,
under the scenes and throughout. They're
so
making
they're
sure
just focused on their job
that's
and
that
nothing else.
that's what they were created for. They were manifested to fill in the gaps in energies and to arrange things.
That's wonderful. We
It
need that.
it is. I mean, obviously we do. That's why they were here when the earth was created, because that was a time where they needed to coordinate all of these energies to maintain not only the earth. And it's, in my impression, it's more like they help maintain the illusion for us as well as all of the physical attributes, if that makes sense. Because we're all
Like the
envisioning this all
architects.
ourselves, but we're sharing all of our experiences with so many other forms of consciousness because everything we experience is conscious.
Right.
So, and I'm not sure how all that works. That's why I'm like, I don't know how to explain that because I don't even know if I can comprehend it. I mean, I thought we were creating our illusions, but there has to be some mechanism that we agree to share all of this so we can have these experiences. And they're involved in that as far as I can tell. But
Right.
I'm baffled. Yes,
Ray, I'm sure I missed because I don't get to come to all of these, but I guess I've missed why they are interacting like they were saying we are not their greatest excitement, and it's understandable with the efficiency thing because humans are probably so distractible and that probably drives them bonkers that we go on tangents that we don't even realize off to the side. So why are they interacting when they have such important other jobs to do? What is the deal there?
because right now they can come amongst us and hide themselves, and we would never know. But as our vibrational frequency rises, we will become, we will sense other energies which are around us, not only from the spirit realm, but from other beings which are around. It'd be like, all of a sudden somebody puts something next to you and your hair stands up. And you're like, oh, there's some static electricity or something that's working, or a lightning strike or something like that. Well, when they were around, you would know it. And they don't want humans to discover them. They want to bring themselves to humans in a way which benefits them. It doesn't freak humans out. And a long time ago, they gave me the example, or maybe I just came up with it. It's all blurry at this point. But like they were having an energy conduit and it was in a big pipe, and everything that went on in the pipe was of deep interest to them. All of the energies which mixed and went through this pipe, and they made sure that everything got where it needed to go and that it was buried underground. And that no humans knew about it. But eventually humans were going to dig down and they're like, "Hey, there's a pipe here." And then the way humans are, they were going to start banging on it. And then they were going to get curious. "Hey, what's in this pipe?" And they were like, "Yeah, we're going to make sure that you don't screw with our pipe. We're
'Cause
going to let you know that it's there
it's
and what
natural
it's
gas. Leave it
for."
alone.
Right.
Pretty much, yeah. So they're like, "We're not going to have you interfering with our what we're doing." So that's why they're bringing up themselves to us.
So in their efficiency, they're being proactive.
Absolutely. That's the only
Interesting.
reason. And they picked me because they said, One is I can handle their vibrations. Two, because my vocabulary allows them to communicate with a minimum of misconceptions. But the most important thing was because they screamed at me, "You listen, you do what we ask." And
What
that's
a concept.
it's rare amongst free will beings for to have one that's always going to do what you ask without questions, without wondering or any of that stuff. But I've made a life of that. And they said I'm going to be their mouthpiece.
Have you gotten the impression that they've tried with other people and they just drove them bonkers because they didn't really?
Listen,
And if you think about that, Angie, they're not going to because they're going to choose the right one because that's necessary and efficient.
Yeah, they will have
So,
observed.
I'm sure they gauged and they looked at what they had to look at.
Did a lot of head shaking at what they
Mhm.
saw.
And that's why they connected with me. After the and the future Pleiadians or beings of light may have something to do with that. Because I think it was May 2nd
Hmm.
of last year when they first came to me.
Ooh, they're like your agents now. They're directing all the good ones, getting you the good gigs.
Yeah, well, I
right?
think it's more like I'm their interpreter.
Mm.
But yeah, they're gonna have me speak for them. And whatever they need, because they're not gonna tell me something that's not important. Like today, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do an open invitation. Don't do that. We're gonna come in and talk. Okay. And here we
Nice.
are.
I appreciate the heads up with the question. That was very helpful.
Hmm.
Well, you're not on social media, so it requires an extra step, but you're welcome and thank you very much for fulfilling that part of it.
Yeah, I like that too. That was good. See, they're so efficient. They had everyone
Hmm.
come prepared.
They don't want to
Right.
waste time, that's for
Nope.
sure. Even they like to avoid time if at all possible. But they do
I was
like walking
excited.
around in the mists and the fog. So you'll
Hmm,
find them in the lowlands around the water and that kind of stuff.
interesting.
It's interesting. I was listening to a, a hypnosis therapy session recently, and they were talking with the creators, and it makes me wonder if these beings are similar or them by a different name. They were basically saying that they're the ones that maintain the illusion down here because if we took down the veil of the illusion, it's just the void, and humans aren't ready to just all of a sudden be face to face with the void. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So they have to keep this illusion, or that's their job is to keep it up and sustained, and it's um it's a lot of it's a lot of busy work.
Yeah,
Right.
it's what they
Brian
do.
Brian talked about meeting the architects, and these guys sound very similar to what he had described in
Oh,
in
cool.
one session.
That's a Robert
The,
Grant thing
the
too, about his architect AI. I don't know if you know about that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
what do you guys think about Architect AI? That's the only one I use now when I try to do my dream interpretations.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop this discussion while we do a side tangent.